Elections. Hello, ma'am. We show you as Dr. Laura Pressley, True Texas Elections, and you are against the legislation. Is that accurate?
Vehemently against
All right,
this
vehemently
bill.
against the legislation.
Yes, sir.
Please proceed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Laura Pressley with True Texas Elections, and our election integrity supporters and advocates across the state do not support this bill. The issue is placing a unique identifier on mail-in ballots has the potential for tying the voter to that unique number. Exactly what you're saying, Representative. And it breaches the ballot secrecy. This bill will enable the consequences of breaching ballot secrecy for mail-in voters. Ballot secrecy was just discovered this last year with in-person voters because of unique identifiers. Voting system vendors came to this committee last summer and said to the committee, there's no way to tie in-person ballots to their voters. The voting system vendors said that to this committee, and that is false. I'm going to hand you, when I'm done, a declaration from our case in federal court on this, where Dr. Daugherty says, yes, an algorithm was created, and we now know how every single person in Williamson County has voted for several years. This is a case in federal court right now. So whatever is going to be told, oh, trust us now. We're going to put a unique identifier on the ballots for mail-in, and trust us now that it's not going to be tied to the voter. Well, I'm saying you lost the trust. You're done. We have vehemently opposed this. I have given Representative Toth some amended language. I love the idea that the ballot board needs to check the numbers to make sure that these were the ballots that were handed out to voters. We support that. We support that change. We've provided amended language. No way on earth will we support putting a unique second number on these ballots when the vendors in this state have already shown they cannot be trusted and that ballot secrecy has already been breached for every single voter in Williamson County, and those same systems are used in over 100 counties in Texas. It's shocking what has happened. And to put this up again for mail-in, we have not learned from mistakes. So we vehemently oppose this, and imagine the power of knowing how people vote. Representative Shaheen, I know that your ballot has been exposed because of how you voted in countywide. Representative Wilson, we know how you vote in Williamson County. And Representative Busey, I can tell you how you voted in the last 4 elections in Williamson. Nobody should know that information. Zero. Imagine if we know it for judges, representatives, CEOs of companies. When you go to the ballot box, it's between you and the Lord, nobody else. And to even consider this is shocking. We don't know where this came from. We understand that we want to check that the ballot board has got the real ballots. There's already a unique number that's put on the ballot, a consecutive number according to law, that is not tied to the voter. It's not tied to some computer voting system. And to create another one to put it on top of this, you can develop software that can read the unique number. There's no reason to develop a new system. And I'm here for questions. And I will hand you this declaration. It's paragraphs 5 and 13 that says, yes, in Williamson County, with an algorithm that we found, God bless the Lord for we found it. We knew this could happen across the state, and we proved it. And we've proved it in court with 2 declarations. Okay? And the committee heard testimony last summer, said, that's not possible. Well, it is, and I'm going to give you a declaration that says it is possible. And I'm here for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pressley. And when you're done, if you can hand that to the assistant to be handed out. Members, any questions?
Sure, I have a couple questions.
Chairman Wilson?
Yeah, thank you so much. Ma'am, can you tell me, in terms of, you put a lot of information out there
Right.
for you know, to really digest in terms of the security of the ballot. And frankly, you know, at the end of the day, I absolutely agree with you in terms of who should know how I voted.
That's right.
And, but, you know, why would we need a new number?
Yeah, I don't understand it because there already is a mandated by Texas law. It's a 75-year-old statute that says you have to put a consecutive number on that ballot. And I love the idea of the bill where you want the ballot board to double check. Let's say the ballot that was mailed out was, ballot number 1,500. Well, if the ballot board starts getting numbers at 79,000, well, that might not be right, okay? That's really, the intent of the bill is good. I don't understand why you want to put a second number that's computer generated when the ballot comes in and it's requested and now it's given a number. I don't trust, after what I've seen and with my own eyes, the algorithm for all in-person voters now. I don't trust. Trust us now. We'll keep it. This is a very powerful piece of data, and no one should know how we vote. So I don't understand, Representative Wilson, at all why another number has to be put on there. Just what you said, Representative. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. I was given, we passed 5180 last
I
session.
know it, yes, sir.
And while this isn't really about the bill, but it kind of sort of is, when I looked at a redacted,
Yeah.
voting register or tablet ballot here, I see numbers along the lines of individual names.
That's right. That's right.
Can you tell me, is that line to a in-person ballot number?
Well, I don't know what data you're looking at.
Okay.
The algorithm that we found, we have redacted all of that information. We do not want the algorithm out there. We have redacted that in court documents. We've allowed the court to look at it. And this one expert, Walter Daugherty, has seen it, and he provided this declaration and validated, yes, it exists for 100% of in-person voters, not just 1 or 2% of countywide people. There's 2 ballot secrecy issues in the state. Countywide, which is a state, that's an issue, but in-person voters get a unique identifier through a voting system. 100% of people in person, we can tell you how people in those counties vote.
Interesting.
It's shocking. It's in federal court right now. We've been there a year, and we're not going away.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman.
Ms. Swanson?
Thank you, Chairman Shaheen. In Williamson County, do they use ES&S?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What particular machine do they use?
What
Or is it
the
all of their
lawsuit, what the lawsuit
machines?
has identified are there's voting system software, the express link of the ES&S voting system, and the express vote activation card printer were not certified federally or by the Secretary of State. And I've got documents, I'm going to give you that too. The examiner says we never looked at it. Those 2 pieces of equipment are what put this unique number, and nobody
We're
looked at the
talking
software.
about, this is something that happens when they check in, the
When they
e-poll books
check
are
in,
doing
the
something.
number's given
And
when
their
they get it.
representative last time did tell us they're trying to get certification. So he talked about what changes they were making. Do you?
That was for poll books. That was not for this.
Okay, so it
totally
has
separate.
nothing to do with this.
Nothing to
Okay.
do. Their poll books were decertified for us not being able to check in quick enough.
Okay.
All right, so that's a different topic.
So you're saying any fixes they're talking about wouldn't fix this?
No, ma'am.
This algorithm that we haven't been able to see, keep in mind that Vice Chairman Busey and I think, are the only returning members from last
That's right.
time. Some people have been on the committee before, but they weren't on last time, and so wouldn't have been at the interim hearings and all. So this algorithm that, of course, we can't see because you don't want it out there, which makes sense, can it be done at all on a Hart machine?
That's a great question. And the Hart InterCivic guy, and this is in one of our briefs, a recent brief that was filed in December, the Hart InterCivic guy did say it is possible to triangulate even the Hart system. And that's his testimony. It's in our brief that was filed in December in the court.
So when the Secretary of State's office suggested the elections officials start redacting the information on who voted where, which I always like being able to get that information. And
Right.
I don't even have to have the names. I'd just like to know, okay, 30% of my people are going to that spot and 40 over here. Did that help? Did that do anything
No,
to
not
stop
for
the
this issue.
algorithm?
This issue is not a location issue. This
Okay.
issue is a unique identifier put on the ballot issue. And that issue is more countywide, a countywide breach, where you have people who vote outside their normal neighborhood area, and they're the only person at that location.
With that ballot style.
That's a the countywide issue, and that's an early vote issue, right? Same thing with early vote.
Right.
And we've calculated, and I've done a lot of analysis on this, it's about 2 to 5% of voters who vote election day for countywide, their ballot secrecy is breached. The county and officials have the data. Now, you're trying to make sure the public doesn't have it, but those people still do. So by definition and by design, Election day countywide breaches ballot secrecy for 2 to 5% of the people. Now you go to early vote where you can vote anywhere again. That's a state issue because in the state law it says you can go vote anywhere at any early vote location. That's a state statute. That's about 1% of people who vote early have their ballots breached. So we've got a countywide issue, and now we've got 100% of voters in person issue.
So
by
the
the software.
algorithm doesn't expose everybody's ballot, just this
Say it again?
1% in early voting?
That's right. Countywide and early vote is between a 1 to 5% issue.
Okay, and on election day, it's how high?
It's higher because you have fewer people voting. Early vote, about 70% of people vote early. So it's a
Okay,
larger
so it's easier
database.
to
It's a
pin
larger
people down.
numerator.
So since we can't go judge the algorithms ourselves, when do you think this court case is going to come up? Any idea? I'm
Well,
very curious to hear.
We're at the mercy of the court right now.
Right,
We're just
no idea.
providing all the evidence that we have,
Okay.
and it's not right. It's not right to breach ballot secrecy. It's a constitutional right to have a secret ballot. It's between you and the Lord, and that's it.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, most of
Yeah.
the time, everybody knows how I'm voting, but everybody else shouldn't be put in that situation.
Well, Matt Rinaldi wasn't real happy, was he? Yeah, he wasn't.
Well, I do wish we could know more, but I understand you don't want to put the algorithm out there.
We
but
can't. We're not
puts
gonna
us in
do
a
it.
very
Yeah.
frustrating situation of what are you suggesting we do to fix it? Since you can't tell us the algorithm, what do you think we should do?
Well, I'll send you the brief, our last brief, which
Okay.
is really a laundry
Okay.
list of what needs to be done.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Okay,
thank
bless
you.
you. And I'll give you all this, the declaration of the expert, and it says, yeah, the algorithm's there, and then the voting system examiner who says we never looked at the Express Link software and the card printer. We never looked at it. We were told not to look at it. It wasn't EAC certified. And then the certification from the Secretary of State says, yeah, the EAC looked at it, and they did not.
So your
Okay.
1% to 5%, are these people in very small precincts, so that makes it easier to identify
No,
them?
you could just, like, you want to go vote where you work, or you go vote where you're at a meeting across town. So it doesn't,
I thought you said the algorithm's not dependent on geography where you vote. Is that,
so there's two issues, the countywide, which is the 1 to 5%,
okay,
and then the software issue with the unique identifier, that's 100% breach.
okay,
Those are two separate things.
okay, all right,
It's
thank you.
confusing, it is.
Mhm, for sure,
right, so I'll
especially since
hand-
we don't know the details.
Yeah, so I'll hand this out. I'll let you do it. Any other questions?
Chairman, I have a quick question. If
Let the
you
record
don't-
show Ms. Morales-Shaw is present, and Ms. Morales-Shaw.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to know if you were going to provide us a copy of the court case as well?
I will be happy to send that out. I'll be
Okay.
happy to send, the court case is actually, a number is on the declaration for the expert.
Okay, that's fine.
You can look
We
it up in
look
federal court, we're in the Western District.
Thank you. Thank you
Judge
for your
Ezra,
testimony.
Judge David Ezra.
Members, any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Presley, very much.
Bless y'all. Thank you.
Chair calls Terry Putnam, representing himself.